This is teaching for women. I do see that you're surrounded by many women praying over you. But I want to talk about false sense of security. And I'm going to go to Proverbs chapter 15. The tongue of a wise useth knowledge arights, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. A fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he regardeth reproof as prudence. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenue of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayers of the upright is his delights. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto the Lord, but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. Righteousness. Do your friends know what righteousness is that are praying over you? Matthew 15, Yeshua rebuked the Pharisees for doing unrighteous judgments, speaking and preaching commandments of men, rebuking the disciples for unwashed hands, for they kept commandments of men over commandments of Yahovah. And what you speak comes from your heart. His righteousness, Yeshua's first and great commandment he gave you, to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Do you and your women friends know what his righteousness is? Or are they, like Romans 10, ignorant of his righteousness, have established their own, have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge? Do they know it was prophesied of the Messiah that he would come and give everything desired at Horeb to the people? In Deuteronomy 18, what Moses prophesied he would do, the people were to hearken unto him, and he would give everything desired at Horeb. The 10 Commandments, Deuteronomy 4-5, he did just that with his first and great commandment, to love the Lord thy God with all your heart, soul, and mind, quoting verbatim Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 5. For 2 John chapter 1 and 1 John chapter 3 says, he didn't write a new commandment onto us, but one from the beginning. Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 5, love the Lord thy God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Keep the commandments in your hearts, and what is in your heart is what you speak. Teach the commandments to your children when they rise up, when they walk by, when they lie down. It will be your righteousness to do all these commandments which the Lord thy God that commanded thee. John 5, spoken from Yeshua, search the scriptures, for in them you'll find your eternal salvation. It was what was testified of him. And if you don't believe what Moses wrote of him, you will not believe what he told you. He told you to go look what Moses wrote of him. Matthew 15 and Mark 7, they flatter me with their mouth, but their heart is far from me. Are your friends those that flatter him with their mouth, but their heart is far from him, breaking his commandments, not entering into his Sabbath, dawn Saturday to dawn Sunday, saying Jesus is my Sabbath, when Hebrews 4 tells you Those that fail to enter into his Sabbath, the seventh-day Sabbath, have unbelief. For if Yeshua had given them rest, wouldn't he have spoken of another day? He never spoke of another day. He rose on the Sabbath. Daniel 9, he confirmed the covenant. He was prophesied to refresh the covenant at Horeb with many for 1 week. He ceased sacrifice midweek, Wednesday. He gave the sign of Jonah to the Pharisees. He would be in the earth 3 days and 3 nights. And when Mary and the other Mary came in Matthew 8:28, at the end of Sabbath, before it dawned towards the first day of the week, he was already gone. He's Lord of the Sabbath because he rose on the Sabbath. He kept the Sabbath. He preached on the Sabbath. He healed on the Sabbath. Do you do Christmas and Easter what the world likes to do? Jeremiah 10, Jeremiah 7, where you cut a tree out from the forest, bring it in your house, nail it down so it doesn't topple over, and deck it with silver and gold. This sin unto death. In 1 John chapter 5, little children, keep yourself from idols, wearing a Tammuz cross around your neck and between your breasts. Hosea 2:2, Ezekiel 8, where they worship the sun towards the east on Sun God Day, Sunday. Do you do commandments of men over commandments of Yahovah? Do you break his commandments and turn the grace of God into lasciviousness? Jude chapter 1, verse 4. Lasciviousness, unbridled lust, wantonness, shamelessness. The doctrine that you can come before the Lord shameless in your sin because you have undeserved favor, when in Titus 2, the grace of God, G5485, especially divine influence upon the heart and the reflection of life. You can look it up in the Strong's Charis, that teaches you in Titus 2 to deny sin, ungodliness. What is sin? The transgression of the law. What is the law? Matthew 22, verse 37 through 40, Yeshua's 2 commandments: to love God with all your heart and soul and mind, and love your neighbor. Leviticus 19:15 through 18, to do righteous judgments. Do no unrighteousness in judgment, like he rebuked the Pharisees for in Matthew 15. But rebuke your neighbor when you see them sin, so they don't suffer sin upon them. Love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. The royal law in James chapter 2, verse 8 and 9. Proverbs 15, verse 7, the lips of the wise disperse knowledge. Do they have a zeal for knowledge and not according to Scripture? Are they ignorant of Yahovah's righteousness and have established their home? Do they think that they're righteous and they break the commandments? But the heart of the foolish doeth not so. Verse 28 of Proverbs 15, the heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayers of the righteous, those that love him and keep his commandments. John 14:15. Deuteronomy chapter 5, having mercy on thousands of them who love him and keep his commandments, that are righteous. John chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners. He doesn't hear sinners. But if any man be a worshiper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth. He hears the righteous. Hebrews chapter 5, verse 9. Yeshua became the author of eternal salvation for those who obey the Son. Are you obeying the Son and keeping his commandments? Are you keeping the 10 commandments, what he was prophesied to refresh by Moses, what was testified of them, where you can find your eternal salvation, what was written? Do you keep his Sabbath, dawn Saturday to dawn Sunday, as was commanded by Yahovah in Deuteronomy chapter